It's Monday, April 6th, 2026, and we're going to start off this week by sharing the data and analysis that makes me comfortable putting out a title like XRP Bullrun ready to start. And before you say, yes, Zach, give me all the hopium this Monday morning, let me just put out this little caveat and remind you guys that I still think we see a drop before the pop, but we're going to break it down in today's update. It's an incredible opportunity to be dollar cost averaging into quality assets during this liquidity crisis, during this global conflict. Let's break it down. If you're new here, make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell, and let's keep you up to date on all of the current events, financial markets, and let that education lead you to taking effective action when it comes to your investments, business, and life. That's what we're here to do, and we appreciate your support. And I said this weekend that if you are new here, just know that these are the bottom signals long-term investors like myself love to take advantage of. Bags getting filled while the crypto tourists make their exit. And I'm retweeting Rob Art here, who says crypto Twitter is temporarily a ghost town again. An influencer with 1.1 million followers is getting 800 likes per tweet. Used to be thousands and tens of thousands of likes. It's dead out here. I've seen it myself. Views are down. That's great. It's a buying opportunity. We love to buy the hate. We love to buy what's not boring. We love to buy it when it's not sexy. Because I'll tell you that during these times, it looks very good to us, very attractive to us. We're very much into this, buying the blood in the streets. We're going to be taking advantage of that. Now, let's get into it real quick on the current events. IRNA's foreign policy correspondent says that its response, which consists of 10 paragraphs, Iran has emphasized the need for a permanent end to the war, taking into account Iran's considerations while rejecting a ceasefire. So we're waiting. We got the countdown from Trump over the weekend, and this is the same thing that we've seen every weekend for the past month. After the markets close on Friday, Trump drops the hammer, the big threats. We're going to blow everything up. Before the markets open up on Sunday futures, we're probably going to have peace. This weekend, we extend the timeline, extend the 48-hour timeline right before futures open back up. And then I think it was Axios, somebody in the mainstream media started reporting that there's going to be a ceasefire, there's going to be a deal. So when the futures open up, oil did pop up a little bit there yesterday, but overall, the market actually popped over the past 24 hours on the expectation that a ceasefire, some sort of deal might be reached. But U.S. official called Iran's 10-point ceasefire response maximalist and are uncertain if a diplomatic solution is possible moving forward. So don't get your hopes up. I'm going to continue to pray for peace. We're watching the situation. But once again, this is what leads to that drop before the pop. I'm of the opinion, and I'm no military expert, I'm just trying to see how I can position myself for what's about to unfold here, and it looks like we have to drop some big ones. We have to make a big move. We might have to put some boots on the ground. And that climax, the big move, I think, is what leads to a little bit of a drop. But the market's becoming desensitized, and the market's ready to buy the dip. I've been talking about buying this for the past month, and a bunch of you guys are here as well too, right? And so a lot of people are going to front run these lower levels that folks are expecting to come in. We might not drop that low, just because so many buyers are waiting on those order books like myself and many of you guys to fill it up. Now, we're also watching this private credit crisis, and JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says that the private credit losses will be larger than expected. We would agree with that statement. My analysis has, going back to the end of 2025, we started to sound the alarm about some things that we were being sent by investors. We were seeing that some of these things going on in the private funds. We said, okay, what's going on here, right? Let's just ask some questions. Let's just ask some questions and see what's going on. And just like Jamie Dimon says, when you see one or two cockroaches, there might be a couple more. And so we were just being cautious as we entered 2026, and then the headlines started hitting. And so make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell, because we're going to be dropping the update on private credit this week, the tally. Who is facing what redemptions? How much are they facing in redemptions? Are they being fulfilled? Are they being met? How did things go in Q1, right? We've wrapped up Q1. How did things go in Q1? And how bad is the damage going to be from the private credit crisis? We'll be watching that. But that is the bad, right? That's the bearish. That's what leads to the drop before the pop. And it leads to the headlines and the justification and the excuse for the money printers to go burr, just like they did after 2020. And we reported on the UAE announcing emergency loans last week, and now France has joined. This is just the start if the conflict continues. So just like in 2020, we see these crises hit, and then they turn back on the money printer. And so we have government loans for the business, business development, business loans from the UAE. That's $1 billion fund that we already reported on right here. Here comes the liquidity. Tweeted this out on March 30th. And then yesterday, or 2 days ago on April 4th, the French government joins the party. Loans as much as 50,000 euros to small businesses that are the most exposed to rising fuel costs in transportation, fishing, and agriculture. The money printer's going to go burr. I don't care what they call it. Quantitative easing, treasury reserve management, government loans for this, government loans for that. They have to provide the backstop, otherwise it all comes crumbling down. U.S. M2 money supply jumps to a new all-time high of $22.7 trillion. There's more money ready to go than ever before they've even turned back the money printers on. And this is why we say the XRP bull run is ready to start. We are here. We are so close to the bottom. Now, I had I posted this back on March 30th. I said Powell is playing politics while they add more T-bills to their balance sheet than they did during the simulation events of 2020. And here you're looking at the chart. This is short-term T-bills held by the Federal Reserve. And you're looking at their balance sheet right here, which went up to this level, about $330 billion after 2020, all through 2022. And then it dropped, and we went into quantitative tightening, where the Federal Reserve was offloading these assets and selling off assets from their balance sheet. It went down to this low, slightly below $200 billion from 2024. And then right at the end of 2025, remember, the Federal Reserve came out and they said that we're going to start buying back treasuries. Now, the Treasury has also been doing this as well. So you have the Treasury along with the Federal Reserve. The Treasury just conducted the largest buyback in history, $15 billion in a day. And they didn't just do it one time, they did it twice now. The Federal Reserve, same thing. Powell's out here playing politics. Is Powell wearing a purple tie for the press conference? Or the money printer's going burr. I don't care what Powell says. I don't care what color tie Jerome Powell is wearing. The message is being sent if you look at the data. They're about to turn back on the money printer. And in fact, we just look at the data right here. This has climbed up to $185 billion by the end of March. Well, here's the updated chart for you guys. It's climbed even more, up to $199 billion. Basically $200 billion added to this balance sheet since the beginning of December. It's doubled, up 101% to $396 billion total. See, this is all going to trickle back down. This is just the start. Government programs, and they have the excuse, right? This energy crisis is the perfect excuse. The private credit crisis, not only does the energy crisis play into kind of blowing that up, but what I worry about too is some of the data centers and the infrastructure and investments that were funded by BDCs, business development credit programs, basically the banks doing private credit loans themselves. But you have BDCs from public banks, and then you have private credit, which is the private funds, both of them exposed with massive billions and tens of billions of dollars of infrastructure, data centers, etc., that they've invested in the Middle East that Iran is now getting ready to blow up and has already started to hit. That's the perfect excuse for private credit. All of these issues, it's problem, reaction, solution. And the masses will wait until it's too late to realize, oh, wow, the Fed is going to be printing a lot. No, the Fed did print a lot of money. This isn't speculation. Look at the balance sheet. Doesn't matter what color tie. Doesn't matter what Powell says. Unless you're betting on the prediction markets on what Jerome Powell's about to say, you don't need to watch what they say, watch what they do. And the balance sheet shows us the government programs and the stimulus, the liquidity. They can call it whatever they want. The XRP and broader crypto bull run is ready to start. Are all 10 million cryptos going to survive and come back from the grave? No. Some of those are done. The casket's in the ground. We can cover it back up with dirt. Those projects are never going to come back. And they don't need to come back. 99% of crypto goes away, according to Brad Garlinghouse. Pretty smart guy. And so buying quality right now is what I'm going to be doing. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. But I have all the data that I need. And I have a little bit more to share with you. Not done. Chad Steingraber. Appreciate him for grabbing this data. XRP liquidations are still really low. Just about every short and long that is going to get wiped out is practically gone. The leverage traders are gone. You have a few people like myself that are still crazy enough to be in an XRP long. Still crazy enough to actually bet with a little bit of leverage, just a little bit. Open interest is at levels seen back in November 2024, just before the big run-up after the elections, which was a 500% pump. So the last time open interest, which is the cost to borrow for trading futures in crypto, the last time it was this low was right before we pumped 500%. It's the perfect setup. And not only is myself and a few of you guys in the community here realizing it, there's more and more people that are coming to the XRP ledger as well. We have the on-chain data to confirm it. This is not hopium. This is not speculation. This is not, oh, it's Monday morning, I need to get back up here and make some clickbait. No, my job is to deliver real analysis that helps educate our community to take effective action. And so we put the data in front of you. I tell you what I'm doing, and it's up to you to make a decision. But the data tells us the truth right here. Despite a softening of the XRP price to begin in July of 2025, shown in black, wallets continue to climb, shown in blue. We've now crossed over 8.1 million XRP ledger wallets as of April 4th, 2026, and this is from Crypto Quant. Look at that. XRP down in price, number of wallets up. And we've been talking about all the programmability, the XRP DeFi, on-chain lending, everything that's about to happen in the XRP ecosystem that most of crypto has no idea about. Right? A lot of retail, they've already left crypto. Either they're still holding onto their bags of Pepe crap, Doge with crap in hand, or whatever their ticker is. They're still holding that bag. Or they just exited and they're out of crypto completely. They have no idea what's going on in crypto because they've just checked out and given up and quit on crypto. The few people that are still left in crypto, they aren't even paying attention to XRP and the XRP DeFi that's taking place. But see, we put all this together. The massive amount of money printing, the different government stimulus programs, all of it leads to liquidity flowing back into the system. M2 money supply being at an all-time high of 22 trillion. How many data points do I need to put in front of you for you to realize that we're about to see asset appreciation once again? After we get through the chaos, yes, we might get a drop before the pop, but you don't want to be left behind. And that's why I still have exposure with chips on the table, but I am still keeping some chips right here so that we're protected to the downside. I don't want to get liquidated out of my trade, and I also want to be ready to buy the dip. We got XRP buy orders, HBAR, ZBCN. We're going to move in. If the market makers give it to us, thank you very much, because we know what's going to happen on the other side of this. The best buying opportunities, bear market of 2018, the flash crash of 2020, V-shaped recovery. You want to talk about drop before the pop? Look at what took place in 2020, right? The best times to buy during 2022, during that bear market and the FTX blow up. History's repeating, rhyming pretty close to a lot of the other bear markets that we've seen. All of the bottom indicators are here. Crypto Twitter's a ghost town. Love to see it. Influencers giving up, everybody giving up. We're still here. We're still pressing, and we're not going anywhere. And if that's you, I just want to say thank you. You will be rewarded. Your patience will pay off. And I appreciate you guys for liking this video. If you appreciate this content, sharing it out far and wide with some friends, family, colleagues that need to get into crypto and realize what's happening. Buy some quality assets, even if they're outside of crypto too. Buying quality now is going to pay off 6 to 12 months from now. No doubt about it in my mind. I'm not going to tell you what to buy. I'm just going to put the data in front of you guys, let you make the decision. But make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell. Everything else is at my website, zachrector.com. Going to be a busy week, so stay tuned. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.